AI, and, did I also say AI? I think at this point the whole concept of artificial intelligence has become a bit much. Google repeated it 120 times at I.O. Apple also did a good amount at their recent iPad event, but props where props is due. The company that truly made it a buzzword is Microsoft with their OpenAI collaboration. Clearly, the guys at Redmond are on a mission to ensure they remain on top in the trend, and Microsoft's Build 2024 keynote wasn't just about the theory, but instead about how they're planning to marry software with powerful hardware. Yes, there's a lot that you can already do with your current computers, but let's just say the new ones are coming to help you do so much more. I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and it's time for another deep dive into what we've learned and why you should care. Yes, I know, AI has been quite the topic over the past year or so. By now, there's a journalistic study focused on how students are using AI to do their homework, and wired videos questioning if AI can fully replace your job. For some, this idea is science fiction kind of scary, and for some, this is powerful enough to enable a new breed of creators. Whatever the case may be, it's clearly not slowing down as companies are betting their future on it. Heck, even Meta just switched from their whole idea of selling you the metaverse to becoming an AI-driven company. We could sit here and worry about it, but I think what's smarter is to embrace it, as I've seen some pretty neat use cases I can't talk about yet, where AI is truly the assistant you wish it was years ago. And I know, I promise I'll share more soon. Anyways, back to Microsoft. Over the last couple of years, we've had this shift in priorities by companies. First, we saw Apple turn the Mac into the hub of your digital life, and then we saw Google make it the cloud, and this latter concept made much more sense as the average person can't really afford an expensive computer to handle all kinds of tasks. So it made sense to offload that to a server. The problem then became just how internet speeds became the bottleneck. Within that time, we've had companies like Qualcomm and MediaTek push hard on bringing that power back to our mobile devices, which they call the edge. Yes, do some cloud, but on a device that can handle some or all the tasks. Props to Apple for figuring out how to fully harness the power of mobile ARM chips on a computer with its M-Apple silicon. But while Cupertino is just focusing on powerful devices, Qualcomm and Microsoft are going for a different route. Seriously, what's the point of having an all-powerful iPad if you can't fully take advantage of it? For Qualcomm and Microsoft, the move has been more about harnessing the power of AI. Satya Nadella started the event introducing these as Copilot+PCs, and yes, Windows on ARM has existed for years and has failed every single time, but I seriously want you to put the Windows RT fiasco in the past. Like macOS on ARM, this is a paradigm shift in computing, but now finally reaching Windows PCs, thanks to Qualcomm's X series of chips that we got to see back in Hawaii last October. Microsoft is calling these the most powerful Windows PCs in the world, which in a way is enough to tell you this is computing reimagined. Other features mentioned is that they also bring the most advanced AI through Microsoft Copilot, in addition to breakthrough AI experiences, or so they said. The NPU alone runs at a crazy 40+ trillion operations per second. Windows 11 was also re-architected to run on these new Qualcomm chips, with Microsoft claiming they're 58% faster than the MacBook Air with M3, all with a sleek design and all-day battery life of up to 15 hours of web browsing and 22 hours of video playback, which they claim is 20% longer than the 15-inch MacBook Air. We even heard that they are 23% faster in peak performance and 58% faster in sustained multi-thread performance. And yeah, notice a ton of these comparisons are only with the M3 Air that's not designed for sustained loads like the Pro. But anyways, Copilot's integration then gets enhanced now with either the Copilot key on your computer, which we've slowly seen deployed this year, or also from the taskbar now in a more predominant center. I will admit I'm not necessarily a fan of having to drag and drop stuff to it instead of just being able to have an operating system that's contextually aware, but hey, it's a step in the right direction as Microsoft teased that later this year, apps like Settings and your File Explorer will make it easy for you to perform Copilot tasks without needing to launch an application. OpenAI's GPT 4.0 will also reach Copilot soon. We got to see a demo where a developer was sharing his screen with Copilot while he was playing Minecraft and helped him play the game, which was pretty awesome. One cool Copilot feature is recall, which pretty much indexes what you do in your computer computer for a few days, and then lets you easily find things through natural language searches. Live Caption and Co-Creator then help you generate images progressively. You can then restyle images, remove a background for both photo and video, and more. Additionally, Microsoft has updated its studio effects with creative filters and portrait light, all available on these Copilot+PCs. The company then also highlighted third-party apps that'll have access to the NPU, such as DaVinci Resolve for video editing, WhatsApp for messaging, CapCut for videos and images, and more. Now, the Copilot+PC won't be exclusive to Qualcomm. Let me just clarify. We got to see that AMD and Intel will also be a part of it, where there is a minimum spec required, like 16 gigs of RAM, 256 gigs of storage, and in addition to an integrated NPU. We did get to see some hardware on the event, mostly focused on Snapdragon though. So let's just begin with the updates on the Microsoft Surface, starting with the Microsoft Surface Pro 11th generation, which, even if Microsoft didn't directly clarify, actually comes in two flavors. To start, there's a base model that starts at $1,000 and features the recently announced Snapdragon X Plus. Yes, think of the X Elite as the top of the line, as the name implies, and the X Plus is still more powerful than anything Windows has seen before, but just less than the X Elite. It brings an integrated Adreno graphics GPU and is paired with 16 gigs of RAM and up to half a terabyte of storage, along with a 46 watt-hour battery and a high-resolution 13.8-inch IPS LCD at 120 Hz. The bigger story here, though, is the more expensive $1,500 variant, which includes an OLED display, which would be the first in the lineup. It boasts the same 600 nits of brightness as the base model, but then up to 900 nits on HDR content. We're expecting the Snapdragon X Elite powering the show with up to 32 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage, and the 51 watt-hour battery, but wait, there's actually more, regardless of which variant you pick. I think Microsoft has finally listened to so many complaints about how bad it is for the Surface Pro to be on your lap, or the many horror stories of it just falling off a tray table on a plane. What they ended up doing is allowing you to now work with a detached keyboard. As a result, you'll be able to prop the tablet wherever you want and have the keyboard on your lap for added convenience. Sure, listen, it's not perfect, but definitely a step in the right direction. And then the slim pen is still offered and fits within the keyboard for any of you artists out there. You even get a 4K rear camera, even if I'm not going to tell you to be that person, so just please don't. Now, moving up, we have the Microsoft Surface Laptop with a 13.8-inch display with various options that starts at $1,100. Here, you actually get options where you can pick between the Snapdragon X Plus or the X Elite. You'll be able to pair it with up to 64 gigabytes of RAM and 1 terabyte of storage. It also comes with integrated Adreno graphics, which, yes, we're curious about when it comes to gaming performance, but time will tell. Actually, all machines claim to have the same performance capabilities when it comes to graphics and the GPU. You can simply pick whichever form factor suits you best. Microsoft claims the new Surface Laptop is 86% faster than the Surface Laptop 5, and the Surface Pro is a crazy 90% faster than the Surface Pro 9. They also last twice as long on battery, playing videos for up to 22 hours. Now, yes, there are a few catches. First of all, notice the price tags. Everything is over $1,000, and then the fact that even if the event happened this week, those of you wanting those Surface laptops are going to have to wait until June 18th. Like, seriously, Microsoft. I don't understand why they have this track record where they announce something and then you have to wait so long for it. That being said, the company teased all the OEMs that are bringing us new Copilot Plus AI PCs. We've heard from Samsung, Lenovo, and others prepping their new products, so stay tuned because June is going to be very crowded. To conclude, can I just say that even if Satya Nadella had a slow start when he took over Microsoft, his tenure has only gotten better over time. We now see a more aggressive Microsoft that hasn't just pivoted into the cloud business as it did from the start. We now have a company that's aggressively tackling computing from all ends, and not just trying to catch up with Apple when it comes to performance per watt. Sure, it's important, but it's also focusing on this idea that horsepower should have a purpose, and for Microsoft, it's all about AI. Let me know if you agree with our assessment in the comments down below, and while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see me finally want to use a Windows 11 PC in a while. I've tried a few, they're good, but I really wanted them to be great. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.